much, and thanks for the introduction. My name is Hossein, and I'm the professor and chair of the Department of Cybersecurity. I'm also the founder of Western New York Cybersecurity Research Center, which I'll be talking about today, and I'll be telling you how we are using this Cybersecurity Research Center, not just to do research, but also as a tool for producing top talent that is ready to go on day one when they graduate from Bonaventure University. But before I do that, I'd like to tell you the title of my talk. It's Cybersecurity Centers to support hands-on cybersecurity education. And we're hoping to create a great future without the coronavirus, of course, where we have armies of cybersecurity experts graduating and ready to work as soon as they come out of college or even before. So COVID-19, as everyone else does, as an icebreaker, I would like to show you a video about COVID-19, and I encourage you to adhere to hygienes and look after yourself, stay healthy. So let's see the video. It's easy to do that when it's a real virus, but when you've got a computer virus, it's probably much more difficult to deal with, but you'll be running the same way as the cat was running. So let's talk about Western New York Cybersecurity Research Center, WNYCRC. WNYCRC opened on April 24, 2018. So we've been doing research and teaching and producing data, more importantly, for about 2 years now. The partners who are involved in our program and the Cybersecurity Research Center are mainly the National ICT Japan, who have provided us with know-how, advice, research tools, and hardware, as well as scholarships to our students, internships for the students to go there and be trained and come back and bring the materials they've learned. Nara Institute of Science and Technology, University of Tokyo, University of New Brunswick, the Canadian Institute for Cybersecurity, which I'm proud to be one of 5 management board members, and also to a lesser extent, Ryerson University. The Cybersecurity Center, like I said, opened on the 18th of April, 2018. The Vice President of National ICT Japan. National ICT Japan is an institution in Japan devoted to research in this area with a 480 million euro budget. There's about over 1,000 researchers with PhDs, aside from the engineers that work alongside those people. In the middle, we've got a Silo City IT partner who have been investing in various aspects of our cybersecurity center. And of course, our great president, President DePero, who has had a big role in establishing the center and supporting it. And I would hate not to mention him. This is a picture showing his partners and mainly our students and visitors on the day of the launch. So engagement of students started on day one. The Cybersecurity Center provides a lot of visualization tools that could be used by a human operator to make sense of what's happening at a certain moment in time. And this could be a good tool for a security operations center, which I'll talk about a bit later. Let's look at the features of the Western New York Cybersecurity Center And I think it's worth it before I explain what the Cybersecurity Center entails. And there'll be a lot of videos that I'll be showing you. So bear with me with some text, and then I'll get into more exciting stuff. The main thing to me as an educator that the Cybersecurity Research Center at St. Bonaventure University in Western New York provides is hands-on cybersecurity training, but also research opportunities for our undergraduate and, if needed, graduate students. We do what's called real-time monitoring. I'm going to give you the details of what that means. We do alerting through what we detect via monitoring, and the engine that analyzes what we monitor to detect cyber attacks in Western New York in our area where we've got our sensors set up, and provide alerting services to businesses in the area if they are interested. Regional companies, in effect, get hands-on service and support for regional companies. We've got visualization tools for the cybersecurity status of the region, and I will show you what it looks like in New York. We have an alerting system that uses data analysis plus pattern analysis tools. So we know what's happening at a certain moment in time, but we also look at the history and analyze the data. And if we can identify patterns within that data using data mining, we use that and produce newsletters that we pass on to those that we feel should have it. This Cybersecurity Center has also created collaboration opportunities with multinationals, National ICT in Japan, Canadian Institute for Cybersecurity in Canada, the Cybersecurity Research Center in New Zealand, and local and international companies, which I will not name for obvious reasons. The Cybersecurity Center is capable of providing periodic reporting of cybersecurity status of Western New York, as well as we can go national. We collect a lot of data, as I'll be telling you soon, that is very useful. So we could tell you what happens at 10 a.m. every day in Western New York in terms of the malware that is shot towards us, if we imagine those as being rockets launched at us, and I'll show you that soon. International research partnership provides opportunities for research for faculty and students. It also provides for us to exchange faculty in between these institutions, and this has been ongoing between all of the institutions that we have collaboration with. And I'm hoping that some of you listening here will become our future collaborators. I am more than happy, if you like what we're doing, to give you more explanations, give you a visit opportunity to come on campus and look at our Cybersecurity Center and see the multiple capabilities we have here. Of course, we have to sort out the COVID-19 issue, which I believe we're doing all we can to. It positively contributes to the reputation of our university, St. Bonaventure University, and it helps us be a CAE, which is renowned across the country once we achieve the goals that we have. Now, this is not the only cybersecurity research center that I have created. I have produced these over my tenure as an academic, and I did create a cybersecurity research center in New Zealand, in Auckland, New Zealand, which is still operating. We had over 20 New Zealand companies, including Aura Security, Red Shield, Naki Cloud, Vodafone, and various other companies involved in our cybersecurity center in New Zealand, and we're hoping to do the same in the States as soon as we achieve some results. This center has helped us achieve funding. We've had $12.6 million of research funding from the government and other funding from companies and various other sources nationally and internationally at a tune of $450,000. There has been staff and student exchanges. We've been able to attract $120,000 per year in internships from the collaborators and companies that we work with. Obviously, research collaboration, which I'll talk about, an alert system, attack monitoring in Western New York and various other parts of the world, data mining and machine learning. When I say machine learning, we have used support vector machines, if you're familiar with those machine learning tools or methods, mainly, and we really like what we have had achieved through this. Now, we have started working on post-attack analysis. This gives us an opportunity to analyze attacker behavior and mainly victim behavior by doing post-attack analysis using opinion mining. I'm not going to go into details of that, but if anyone is interested, I would be happy to involve you into it. Nara Institute of Science and Technology in Japan has contributed heavily. We created a double doctorate in cybersecurity, where our institution would give a doctorate degree to a student who fulfilled all the requirements of both institutions, Nara Institute of Science and Technology plus our institution, and they received a Japanese doctorate and a local doctorate. We had staff exchanges. We received $70,000 a year from Nara Institute of Science and Technology in Japan, of course, research collaboration with them, and we have collaborated on a capture the flag competition, and I will be telling you about that, and we've used visual tools to implement a capture the flag competition for high schools. Now, I've been telling you that as a part of our cybersecurity center, we do monitoring. So we monitor the traffic that comes our way that we believe is ill-intentioned traffic. And then we do research using data mining, machine learning, and opinion mining. Let me tell you a little bit about that. So the Cybersecurity Research Center, like I said, does machine learning, and it also does data mining. Intrusion detection is also a part of the work that we do in the Cybersecurity Research Center here at St. Bonaventure University. We do opinion mining as well, as I discussed, and I will go into more details of some of these. But let me show you what the monitoring involves. Here is our monitoring system. As you can see in the video, there's not much traffic so that I can explain this well to you. As you can see, I can right-click, or the human operator can right-click on each of these arrows, which is an attack, and obtain information about the attack. What port it was the destination of the attack, what protocol was used. And as you can see on the screen, each of these attacks has a different characteristic. So this would be a really good tool for a human operator. But we also do analysis while we do that, while we are collecting this data. And if you look at these bars, the bars show you how many attacks per up to this moment from a starting point we've had in each of these locations. So you can do a comparison of the volume of attacks you're getting in each of these locations. This shows you very quickly, I wouldn't like to show more details of the Western New York Center, but this is the heavy load that we are getting from everywhere, including from within the states. and also from friendly countries like Australia and New Zealand. And what you see here, you might say, what is this in the middle? We cannot really classify this data, so we located where we think it might be, so you can see these being fired from the ocean or the sea. So these are not really reliable, but each of these arrows will be an attack, and the color coding will tell you what protocol they're based on. So if you look here, the yellow lines, I can tell you these are based on the protocol and based on the data that I have looked at. This is a DDoS attack, and this is really valuable information and valuable analysis of the data that we collect. So I've taken the graphs. You can see that this is a packet object. It comes into our darknet space, and the lines, the color of the line and the color of the arrow show me, tell me what kind of protocol the attack is based on and various other information that I can get. So a packet object can be right-clicked on within our cybersecurity center in our monitoring system, and you can see that this attack is coming from Japan. Can't be sure though, but we can be sure what port it is attacking and what protocol it's based on, the time of it, and various other details that we collect. We produce several terabytes of data every week, so storage is a big problem in this system, as we currently do not have the funding we need to buy enough storage. As you can imagine, it's huge and we cannot do it. So we basically archive and we use this for research. Our students have access to all this data that is being collected on these packets that come our way. We can do various types of analysis on the data. And if I wanted to give you an overview of what this monitoring system does and how it operates, you've got viruses, bots, and various other malware coming through our darknet. This is our darknet traffic. And we get about 190,000 darknet packets. Oh, sorry. We use about 190,000 IP addresses, unused IP addresses, to do our analysis. Now, we use a honeypot, and I can tell you that, well, I think everyone knows what a honeypot is, so I'm not going to go into the details of that. But the honeypot produces malware samples, and the code analyzer here is trained. So we have a behavior analyzer. So the analysis of our alerting system, which I'll talk about in the future, is based on this behavior analyzer. So as soon as a piece of malware starts operating, we have already trained the system for the behavior, and then we can detect it through our monitoring system, which goes through various components of the system, which is a network and malware and chaining system, an incident handling system, and then an incident alert is produced. Well, we produce alerts, reports as well, the NICTR reports, which could be used by law enforcement and various other people might need to use them. So the monitoring system really gives us a picture of what is happening at the moment in our darknet space and what it means. So a human operator can use that instantly. We also collect data over time. We analyze that data using machine learning, data mining, and later opinion mining, so that we can make sense of it. And so we've got a long-term analysis of what is happening in our region in Western New York through this monitoring system. So we would like to call our system a network incident analysis or a center for tactical emergency response. This is what it basically is in effect. Are we going well? Is everyone okay with it? No problems? Okay, no good. Well, it's all good. Oh, no problem. If you look at the screen that I'm showing you, we are getting over 23 million packets per day. That is a vast amount of data, and it makes our analysis more accurate. And we get over 600,000 unique hosts per day sending these packets our way. And we're really thankful of the data that we've got, and we are happy to share parts of it. It is all anonymized, so and we can talk about collaboration in this area if you are interested. Okay, the other piece of data that we have collected is that in 2000, well, this is a snapshot of 2016 and the data that we collected then. And these are the ports that were attacked. So the TCP port is basically getting the highest proportion of attacks. That was in 2016. Would you like to see 2019, which is 3 years later? Well, TCP is getting 24.2% in 2019 based on our data. Okay, and you can see the service that is being targeted based on the ports that are being attacked. And we are seeing changes in the picture. Now, number of attacks from 2016 to 2019 increased by 100 times. So over 7 years, sorry, it's 2012. We did the analysis from 2012. From 2012 to 2019, we had 100 times the number of attacks increase from 2012 to 2019. What we're witnessing is that attacks hosts are now becoming IoT devices. And we've seen a definite increase from 2016 to 2019. So it was gradual earlier, but we started seeing a very sharp increase from 2016 to 2019, which is very interesting to us. And the IoT devices that are being attacked are, you can see them in the image. In the interest of time, I'm not going to spend too much time on them. We can detect attacks from outside of the environment of our organization that we are monitoring using network boundary monitoring. We can also do the same through the organization network, which is inside the organization. We call that collaborative Darknet Monitoring. Now, we would like to combine the two because some of the institutions or companies that we are monitoring do not like to have us inside of their system. So they've agreed that we do this from outside, so we don't install any sensors. But we would like to combine the two, the ones that we have access to the network, inside of the network. And when I say access to the inside of the network, we do not have access to their live data. We have access to what's called Darknet data. So those are IP addresses that they do not use. And it would not really be a problem in terms of their security. Now, this is our monitoring system. So we monitor data, we make sense of it, we analyze it. And as I said, we look at the behavior. So we have an engine that looks at the behavior, and through that behavior engine, we are able to provide alerting services. Can I ask a question from the audience? I hope I do. Can I ask you to tell me how long, on average, it takes for you to know that you've been attacked? On average, this is known data. On average, it takes us how many days? Well, go up, go higher, go higher, higher. Oh, no, you're going over. Okay, never, I like that answer. You might never find out that you've been attacked, but on average, it takes 207 days for you to find out. So can we give Lara a prize, Jill? I hope we can. So it takes 207 days on average for you to find out that you've been hacked or attacked. And yeah, this is another case of a female beating all the males, unfortunately for us males. Okay, the alerting service brings that duration of 207 days to just seconds after the system starts after the malware starts operating based on the behavior. Now, let me show you the alerting system. We were monitoring about 37 companies. And what you can see is these red things, these nasty red things. Well, there's a Chinese character in there. This is an alert. This is an attack that has been detected. So once we detect an attack by the system, we receive an email, which we then forward to the client or to the company that has been hacked. Now you can see various companies here, they have, we suspect, been attacked, and they would need to get help. Well, hopefully our students can help them at initial level, but we don't want to step on the toes of the cybersecurity companies, so we let them help. Now, you can see different companies here. So each of the big circles is a company, and each of the smaller red circles is an attack on that company that has been identified. Now, you can see one here, one big circle, which is a company that we are monitoring, lots of attacks. Can you tell me why that is? I'm asking the audience. Yeah. No. Anyone who answers this No. Anyone who answers this question will get a prize from me this time. Okay, now time is up. I'm going to answer this question. This is our test company. This is a company that we keep attacking all the time. So that's why it's getting so many attacks. This is how we ensure that our monitoring and alerting system are working. So we use this. So as you can see, the traffic is monitored and then alerting is provided, as you can see in this video. This is a video of the real-time system running. So I'm not going to show you the real-time system, although I could. This is another attack coming from wherever it is coming. Now, some of the things we can do with this alerting system is that if you are this organization, right, and you've been attacked, we send you an alert, and if your systems are not compromised and they start attacking another organization, your organization G, that's you've been hacked, and you start you've been compromised and you start hacking and attacking on organization A. Organization A will see you attacking them, but it's actually not them. It's coming from outside. And our Nectar system can, through the alerting and monitoring system, tell that this is not coming from organization G and identify the source of it. Now, the blue colored areas you can see here is the Livenet, and the Livenet traffic is quite tricky for us to be able to track, because organizations, companies, government, they would not like their Livenet data to be checked by someone else. Although it can be anonymized, it's tricky. Now let's look at Livenet monitoring. Although we do not do it a lot, we do not do Livenet monitoring a lot. I don't know how much time I have. I will adjust based on the amount of time I've got. So Livenet monitoring. It's obvious, everyone would know what Livenet monitoring is. It's your actual data. Well, Dennis is asking a really good question. How do you deal with false positives or valid traffic as well? I know how we deal with false positives. That is a part of our system. I would not like to go into details of it now, both in the interest of time and also we would like to be able to patent some of the work that we have done. Now, here's our Livenet monitoring. This is an example from a previous institution that I created this at. As you can see, this is the map of the campus. We are doing live monitoring in. You can see the list of different protocols all this traffic is based on, and you can see traffic coming from the internet, from outside of the institution. You can also see traffic going from different parts of the network to other parts. So can I ask a question again? And this is our Livenet data that is coming, and the analysis is shown here. So the bars that you see, the different buildings, the different parts of the company, sorry, are shown here. Can you tell me what this could be used for other than security? So you can see our wireless hotspot. We've got wireless for staff. Okay, that's great. Wow. Great responses. I like that. Excellent. Got some really good people listening here. Okay, so now I will tell you what we use Livenet monitoring for in a few slides. We use it to reduce the load of the network and also the congestions, misconfigurations, and we can use this to analyze the network of an institution and find bottlenecks actually and flaws in the design of the network. So it is a really good tool on live monitoring system. One of the cool things that the live monitoring tool and the visualization, which is a great tool, can be used for is for capture the flag competitions. If you use the Livenet monitoring system for and the visualizations along with it for capture the flag competition, you can really see, and the participants can see what happens at any given time. So you can see the question maps, you can see the traffic between the different participants in the competition, and this makes it much more attractive to the students being involved. So the next competition I am going to launch in Western New York is going to be a competition for high school. It's going to be a capture the flag competition, and we are going to use Livenet monitoring to make it cool and hopefully get the media involved and create some awareness and obviously attract more talent into our cybersecurity program. Another tool that I developed with my team is a visualization tool that physically shows you where the location of each of the pieces of hardware is. You can see these blue lines that show you the communication. This is a 3-level building, so the 3 levels are shown. You can go into a specific level, you can go into a room. You can see if a system or a machine has been contaminated. And you can use that information to go to the person. Let's say this is a computer lab at a university, and it actually is. And you can tap the student on the shoulder and tell them that you know what they're doing. So it reduces the risks. And this could be deployed in an actual company. And we produce a lot of data on the screen, which you could turn on and off. And it's a great tool. So what you can see here is a specific machine that we are targeting and we're looking at. So you can physically walk to the location, and this provides another additional tool for our cybersecurity center to be effective. I'd like to move into another part of our cybersecurity center, which is the Security Operation Center Services, and a teaching security operations center, as well as a SIEM-SOC. If I still have time, I'll check. We've got another 12 minutes, and I'd like to leave about 5 minutes for questions. So I'm going to breeze through this part of the presentation. We have an on-campus security operations center, which is a SIEM-SOC, but I created teaching SOCs before I joined St. Bonaventure University. So I'm going to talk about those if everyone is interested. If you are, I will. Otherwise, if you're not, tell me, then I will not. Would you like me to explain the SOC or ignore this part? Okay. So I've got a couple of yeses. I guess I can. All right. Now, we used the SOC earlier. I did this outside of my current institution. And it was used for cybersecurity health checks or warrant of fitness for companies, small companies who could not afford to pay for such a thing. If you go to this link, you'll see the CIO magazine article, which was basically an interview with me on how to build an army of cybersecurity experts. And I really think this approach can be very helpful. And we used our SOC to do that. 3 of the students involved in this project were Dennis, Nick, and Holmes, and they were multinational. And you can see them here. This is Dennis. The other 2 are in the audience as well. So this is what we used our SOC, our teaching SOC, for undergraduate projects. This included a number of companies. The way we did this, the warrant of fitness, the cybersecurity warrant of fitness, which we call cybersecurity health checks, was to group students in teams of 3. We would have an industry partner, an industry expert who looked over their shoulder. We would identify a business, and those students would use our SOC facilities, as well as what they had learned throughout their 4 years of studies, to go into that company and produce a report and check the security of the business, which was quite cool. This is a teaching SOC that I was involved in, and you can see that quite a bit of money was spent. And I can give you the details of what hardware and what software we use to do this in the teaching SOC. Now, what do we teach our students? I would refer to it as skills. We give them skills in cybersecurity. Today's industry wants experience, and which we don't give them at universities. So it is important to fill that gap. And I believe these SOCs that we have produced, SOCs, perfectly managed to bridge that gap. And this helps the companies that hire our students, and these students will have the skills and the experience that the industry needs to get started. Now, there's an attack part to our teaching SOC, and this is the tools and the cost of each. This is a bit old because this was done earlier, so the equipment that you see here is not the latest. And I'm sure these are familiar to you. Does everyone know what a Hack5 package is? Okay, well, Hack5 is a package, is a set of tools that I take to high schools to impress the high school students. But when we bought them first, they come, they're pieces of hardware, that come with software and the training books that come with them. And as an example, you've got a piece of hardware that is called a bash bunny. You've got another piece that is called a pineapple, and you can hack wireless networks using pineapple. So you've got a rubber ducky you can put at the back of your printer and log everything that goes through a printer. And they're easy to use. They're simple. You just put them in your pocket and put them at the back of a printer, and anyone can use them. Anyone can buy them online. So I bought a number of Hack5 kits. I gave it to students. Our IT services was furious because they couldn't handle what they were seeing. So we've now locked those Hack5 tools into the SOC, and they are not coming out. So this is what we have for the attack side of this teaching SOC. The defense side has this equipment, and the monitoring side of things have all of these tools. The tool that we use for monitoring is called Splunk. Is everyone familiar with Splunk? I'm sure you are. Okay, so this gives you a list of tools that we are using. If you are interested, please contact me or Jill, and through this forum, we might be able to provide everyone with this and maybe an updated version of it. This is the rest of what you would need for monitoring. Okay, now another tool that I help my students develop here at Bonaventure University is called a lab on wheel, which we sell to high schools here in the region. Well, if you don't tell anyone, it costs us about $7,000 to $8,000 to build one of these, and we sell them to high schools for about 15. I mean, because we have to make sure we have a better money to continue innovation. So if you want to have a look at the actual lab on wheels, I've taken photographs, and this is what you see. You've got 3 servers in here, 9 workstations. So you take this into a class or a normal classroom, plug it in, you've got 3 networks and 9 workstations, the software installed, all the networking gear, the hacking tools that one would need to do it. And this is another part of our SOC. We are happy. Oh, I shouldn't have given you that information though. If anyone is interested, we can also build these and sell them to you, now that you know that we're not adding too much on top of what it costs. We are currently working on an on-campus SOC. I created one earlier at a previous institution. It's a SIEM SOC. The biggest issue we have is not to create the operations center, but it is to get clients who trust you enough to give you their security and trust you to do it using your students supervised by industry experts. Now, I am building this on campus, and I am hoping to be able to attract some clients. We might charge them nothing at the beginning. And the idea is for our students to be trained using the providers who provide software to us. And I have done this. I've sent students for training. I have been teaching security operations centers for 2 semesters now, to small groups of students, and hopefully we will have a security operations center on campus manned by students that has real clients, gives hands-on experience to students, and the student leaves St. Bonaventure University with 4 years of experience out of a 4-year program. Now, a question here by Chris. Thank you for that good question. How do you handle indemnity insurance? I actually provided this service, the health checks, the warrant of fitness for cybersecurity, to a couple of insurance companies, and we got a bit of advice from them, but that was in a different environment. For here, we haven't done that yet, and that is a big hurdle to jump, because I've already discussed this with our CFO, and it is, you know, like going drilling through a rock to get this done through the CEO. Not that I don't like our CEO is brilliant, but you've raised a really important issue, Chris. Now, I'm almost done, so I want to thank you for listening to me. Before that, I want to thank Jill for providing this forum for me to present my experience in a very short hour. We've got 1 more minute, so if you have any question, I would be more than happy to answer. Well, if you search my name, Hossein Sarrafzadeh, you will find me. You can see my LinkedIn page. If you go to my LinkedIn page, then you'll see a lot of this work there, and the media stories that came with it. An interview with TV4 here in New York that describes all of this in just 4 minutes. If you're interested in a very condensed explanation of what I've just given you, so a summary can be found through there. And you can contact me at SBU, sarrafs@sbu.edu. Here it is. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Jill, and thank you, Anthony, for setting this up for me so well. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Laura. You've got a prize. Ask Jill. Okay, thank you.